Hey guys, J-Games here again. This new with Luffy was Marine. Now, I've done this series a few times, actually, like 3 or 4 times, I believe. But none of them have been good. The first time I did it, yeah, I got a lot of views, but I wasn't good at recording, I didn't have good headphones. It was complete ass. Trash, completely. And then, well, we can go on past this on to basically just, well, the first redo I did of it, didn't like that. The second redo of it, didn't like that. So, I've done it 3 times, not 4. But yeah, this will be the final redo I do of this What If. I promise, because it lied last time. I'm going to try to make this What If a hit. So yeah. The way you see Luffy ends up being a Marine. So, everything is pretty similar. He still wants to be a pirate up until Sabo's dad takes him back. Garp would come pay Ace and Luffy a visit. And at this point, it's been like a month since Sabo's been gone, and a week before the Special Dragon arrives. Garp is honestly just here to actually make sure everything is safe for the Special Dragon. And the Great Sword on Fire, well, still happens. It recently just ended, actually. Actually, no, if it just ended, Blue Gem's crew would be dead. So it's like, yeah, the Great Sword on Fire would be like tomorrow, or say, you could say. But Garp was late. He was there late, like looking for Ace and Luffy. We couldn't find them at all. We saw Luffy walk in, looking covered in scratches and bruises, with him pulling his hat over his eyes, crying. Ace is trying not to cry, but is pretty upset. That's the fact that that's where we're for the one guy they've been beating up throughout the whole time they've been in the Great Terminal. Garp asks what's wrong. They talk about what happened to Sabo and everything. Garp just lays in, not Garp. Sabo, Ace just lays into it, upset. So yeah, some Garp hears what happens. He immediately storms out to Blue Gem's crew, and they wonder who this old man is. So a bunch of Blue Gems so hard that Blue Gems went flying over the Gold Kingdom and into the ocean, unconscious, and sinks because he's unconscious and just drowns to death. And says that his name is Monkey D. Garp. And that's who they messed with. And they realized the short hat boy did say his name was Monkey D. something. They didn't pay attention, but Monkey D. something. He says, "I'm Monkey D. whatever. They don't care. King of the Pirates." And yeah, they realized that Monkey D. Luffy's probably his name, and his grandpa's name is Monkey D. Garp. So Garp handles most of the crew, and immediately just wants to find a way that's legal to actually get Sabo back. But then he thinks about it. So that hired Blue Gem's crew. He hired and bribed guards. He did a lot of illegal things. Plus kind of forcing them with Sabo. And kind of at the same time sold Luffy and Ace. And telling them the only way to get this for this to happen is one. If I do this, it doesn't leave you guys here, you can start trouble again, aren't you? Ace and Luffy turn away, whistling a little bit, saying, "No." And Garp says, "All right, good. I know. And now they know they can't. Now I know I can't leave you here." Huh. Yeah, so I can either come to a random island and say they're on your own, with no one else on it, or I can bring you to Marineford. And most likely we'll train to be Marines there. That being said, no about it. Listen, Garp says, "That's the only legal way I can keep my job. The band's hideout doesn't go under, and you guys can still get to eat. Because like, I can only do legal things without me losing my job." And this one, I was thinking about it really hard for like a day, and this one Garp's like, "Okay, you guys get the plan. We just think of it, and it's the only way. Do it." And Garp would go in and arrest Sabo's dad and get Sabo back to Ace and Luffy, but they become Marines. Now, on from a journey, they actually stopped at the line of Sixes at some point, just honestly for some food, but Ace ended up eating the Mare no Mi, which allows him to actually have fruit a bit similar to the same time as Luffy, but like 4 months late. 4 months later than Luffy. But then they get some Marineford, and well, someone needs to teach Ace how to control his fruit, because Luffy can't control his that well, but Ace's fruit is kind of going out of control. Like Garp has a bonk on his head using hockey to knock him out, so his fruit doesn't go on a rampage. So yeah. So eventually, it's actually released him, from Sakazuki. So Sakazuki can train Ace. I was just trying to say no, but Garp says, "Train him, you damn brat." And Sakazuki just means, "Damn it." He snatched Ace from Garp and walked away, going to train him. So yeah. Now it came to Sabo. Well, originally Sabo was being trained by Bogard, but Bogard had been sent on a large variety of missions, leaving him to Aokiji. But then Sengoku and Sabo kind of got along, so eventually it led to Sengoku training Sabo as can treat Sabo like an assistant. And then Luffy eventually was lost with Garp. So yeah, I would have him up to Kizu, but their fruits are completely different, and Luffy has more than physical aspect of power. So him and Garp were like the best choice. And Garp also needs someone to teach Luffy Rokushiki, as he actually thought Luffy's fruit would pair well with that, as his weakness is his only weakness so far is Blaze and Sea Stone, and Hockey, like everyone else. So to get rid of the Blaze weakness, at least you need Tech Eye, but wanted to give Luffy the best teacher. Went to Impel down, and was actually able to get Who's Who out of there for a bit. And Who's Who would train Luffy in Rokushiki for roughly about a year. This one Luffy had actually learned all Rokushiki relatively quickly. He'd mastered them, but he learned all of them. But then Who's Who tried to escape. He tried to escape, even though Garp showing him his kindness, allowing him to be arrested again. So yeah. But in the meantime, Luffy just begins mastering Rokushiki, but also enhancing his physical body. Eventually, even Sengoku taught Luffy kind of the basic techniques of what he should do, like a punch, a kick, so on and so forth. Like, he was the person with the closest ability to delve with Luffy's Devil Fruit and just taught him how to use it. I mean, nothing the spider guy kind of just got Luffy like basic attacks and everything. But yeah, no one's fruit was relatively that close to Luffy's. So yeah, but also the world government's unhappy that Garp has, well, his grandson was the one that ate the Nika Nika no Mi, but now the Nika Nika no Mi is in possession of, well, only downside is that he's in possession of someone who probably doesn't like the world government as much as Garp doesn't. Probably even more than so, which is right. Luffy doesn't like the government one bit. But yeah, when I go to Luffy when he's 14, he's still 17. Luffy has a rank of ensign. Actually, I would say Master Chief Petty Officer. So Luffy's Master Chief Petty Officer, and Ace and Tabo are both like lieutenant junior grades. Which is the name of it. Hold up. Yeah, Luffy is like recent. Like he's at the age where he recently came in. Like he'd have to be 17, but well, he's been in the Marines for so long to the point where they just make him a member. He's been here 7 years already. This is more than most Rear Admirals currently. So just to throw a little bit of courtesy, they make him an ensign, but he's not going to be ranked up for a whole 3 years at all. They're keeping him at an ensign, which is he's just a recent Marine officer. But Ace and Sabo are both lieutenant junior grades, so they're one rank above Luffy. But Sabo's only one on this mission, as he's Sengoku's personal assistant, and also the main one Sengoku will have send in a battle. If he's out somewhere or there's a mission nearby, he'll send out Luffy instead of him going, because Sabo's the only one that can use observation and armament on a decent level. Like Sabo's on the level of Vice Admiral because he's always doing Sengoku training. But Luffy has to train his Devil Fruit and every ability he has with it. Even he has to get tips from some doctors on how his fruit could possibly work if he works like rubber. So these are where basically every inch of his body is made of rubber, which kind of makes Luffy have to go and train every bit of muscle, every bit of bone, every inch of his body has to be trained to be a weapon. Even Luffy has hair attacks, he doesn't use those too often because he gets his hair cut off too frequently, and there's no Tech Eye for your hair or hockey. So yeah, just so he doesn't get a bad haircut, he doesn't usually use his hair as an ability or his teeth, because those are technically bone, and his bones expand. So yeah. Basically, every part of his body he uses like a weapon, besides maybe what's in between his legs, his teeth, and his hair. But in the middle, so this can only learn a bit of very low level conquerors. Like, how Fishman can knock out he knocked out 25,000 Fishman pirates. Well, Luffy currently can knock out around 1,000 of those, so he's not too good with it, but he can use on one small burst. But then his right-handed combat is basically the best of the best. Like he is trained to be on the level of CP9 in terms of just raw martial arts skill. But he can be all CP9 himself because he can. It's a decent observation as well. So yeah. But by the time Luffy's 14, well, Ensign, Sabo, and Sabo are 17. They're lieutenant junior grades, and they're on a mission in the New World currently. Luffy's been there once or twice, but not too often. But Sabo's kind of bringing on this mission actually because, well, he needed to. And while they're here, it's honestly just to investigate one of the Whitebeard Pirates' islands. One of the islands Whitebeard Pirates controls. They wander around, and eventually, Marco arrived, as Marco was notices, but it's why these 3 brats are here. They kind of have a giant marine ship, but there are only 3 on it. This one says, "Oh, yes, Rickard, that's one of the some enemy crew, but some pirate fled here, and he wasn't associated with you guys, so we're bothering with him, but we're not bother anyone here." No, actually does lead to small truce as that's when Marco yeah, someone did say some fish showed up here, but there's no trouble caused, so we didn't arrive. But Marines, we had to come and intervene. Which crew arrived, and they've been searching the island head to toe. But they do find some random guy. It's not like a random filler pirate. But Luffy and Sabo all use their Devil Fruits. Marco even got their age. Luffy's 14, Ace and Sabo are both 17. But using their Devil Fruits like pros. Even Luffy's hand-to-hand combat still is the best of the 3. Luffy has the best, basically he has the best speed and hand-to-hand combat. Sabo has the best physical strength, and Ace has the best versatility, but also the best area of attack. So yeah. Plus Ace knows armament hockey and conquers better than Luffy does. Well, even conquers better than Luffy. His armament hockey's on par with Sabo. But Sabo can still beat Ace. The fact that Sabo's a lot more of a tactical fighter. Just the way Sabo fights puts him right above Ace. But yeah. But in this, a lot of your actually just wondering how these kids are so strong and how they know hockey. But I was actually wondering about Luffy's hat, asking why Marine has it. He says, "Oh, well, I do so much want to be pirate, but I was kind of fortunate in the Marines to, honestly, just save my life. And my grandpa's Garp, so you can imagine why I was fortunate in the Marines. It's like everyone, but that's when Whitebeard says, "When you know who your grandpa's rival was?" It says, "Yeah, Goldie Roger." So this and Whitebeard chuckles saying, "Who do you think that hat belonged to first?" Lee's eyes glow to joy, saying, "Oh, this hat belonged to Roger." And Luffy says, "Ace, don't take this the wrong way, but you're not gonna touch my hat ever again." He doesn't know that Ace doesn't like Roger, and this is his special hat. So yeah. So also with these boys, they don't have any they don't like pirates that much anymore because they got exposed to horrors that pirates commit. But then they also don't like the Marines at the same time with how corrupt some Marines are outed to be. It's kind of in between. They're more on the revolutionary side. They do things for justice, or they're more like Neo Marines, so to say. That's in their attitude. Basically, they'll do what the Neo Marines do, but they also have some bit of they have tendencies to act like pirates, but they also have the freedom of pirates. Everything they want in pirates, they have. But they're under strict rules from someone above that they don't really follow too much because they're young. But yeah. But when Luffy's 16, so 2 years later, Luffy is told that since he has a giant marine ship, and plus he's in the East Blue right now, because Luffy has one of those big marine ships, the one that Garp had when he arrived at Shelltown. Luffy has one of those ships. And so they can't have one of the ships we can't have one of those ships just wasting resources. He either has to get a small dinghy or something like that, or get a decent sized crew. That ship right there is meant to fit at least 100 people. But Luffy needs at least 10. Luffy says, "Really? I need at least 10 people? Come on. I liberated the whole South Blue for this." Then Sengoku, not Sengoku, Ace Sabo, the Denmushi says, "Luffy, I don't care. You're wasting resources. Either get a crew of 10 people, or turn the ship in and get a small fishing boat. Painted blue and red." Luffy says, "Damn it, fine. I'll get a crew." Luffy ended up getting the giant marine ship after being every pirate in the South Blue. Currently, Kid and Killer are not pirates right now, so they don't count that. They're kind of just still on the island. But Luffy liberated the whole South Blue from pirates. Even in East Blue, he's been there for a month right now, and he recently just turned 16. At 15, he still liberated the whole South Blue and then got the ship for his birthday. But yeah. But Luffy's ship kind of has a monkey on it, but the monkey's eyes are covered with a straw hat shadow because he has a giant straw hat on it. But yeah. Well, he kind of sails around, and eventually decides to stop by a few marine villages, hoping to recruit a strong marine. Luffy already has 2 crewmates, but they're really all he needs. They're both decently powerful. He found one of them recently after taking down one East Blue crew. There's a boy with pink hair who's still getting into shape, but he's already decently far ahead. There's another boy who controls Devil Fruit named Grunt. Well, he's decently strong too. Grunt and Kobe. Those are the 2 boys on his boat, and they're all roughly around his age. Yeah, he has Grunt and Kobe. So yeah, Kobe's still getting into shape with help with Grunt. And Luffy's in the middle of teaching Grunt and Kobe both Rokushiki. Well, first hand-to-hand combat, then Rokushiki, but yeah, Grunt is honestly relying only on raw strength and speed right now. And Luffy's trying to change that, even though that's kind of what he does, but he has some finesse in his abilities. But now with this, we go on to basically just the Straw Hat. I guess the Straw Hat. Luffy kind of regards himself as the Straw Hat fleet, even though he's it's only 3 people. But still, the Straw Hat fleet is regarded as very scary because Luffy liberated the whole South Blue with himself only. Grunt came under his ship 2 months ago, and I think Kobe came on. I don't know if it was Grunt, but yeah, they're both on it for 3-4 months each, I guess. Not 3-4 months, 2-3 months, but yeah. There's I guess the time for them joining is kind of shady, but it doesn't matter right now. But now we go on to Luffy when he arrives at a village called Shelltown. While they're here, Luffy visited Captain Morgan. He wouldn't recruit Morgan because Morgan's a dick, but he hears that Morgan has a son. Should probably roughly around his age. Actually, let me check this real quick. Hold it. How old is Alumpo, though? I think he's teammates with Zoro and Sanji. Or a year older than them. But I don't remember. exactly. He's same age. He's a year older than them. He's the same age as Ace and Sabo. Luffy punts at Sabo and actually asks Sabo how he's strong. I'm going to show off like how strong he is, and even like says, "I'm not stronger than that brat." Putting Kobe, who currently Kobe is roughly around a seaman first class, and Grunt is a warrant officer. So yeah, Grunt's a warrant officer. Luffy currently, it's been 2 years to the whole Whitebeard thing, but him and Whitebeard has a truce with Ace, Sabo, and Luffy. If they come like towards each other, they won't fight at all. They'll like sail away from each other. But yeah, Luffy has that mission. No one reports that he had help from Whitebeard. Dude, his rank went up to Lieutenant Commander. So that's his current rank, is Lieutenant Commander. Or actually, just so he can probably control his own fleet, I'm gonna say Commander. This is his rank, because he's currently Commander. And then Ace and Sabo are both rear. They're both, well, Sabo's a rear admiral and Ace is a commodore. Ace kind of got demoted because he punched someone in the face. Really, it's kind of all it was. Some marine that was like, I was like a vice admiral was being cocky and Ace punched him through a wall and then he got demoted. But yeah. But Garp, Luffy, Sengoku, and Sabo all gave him high fives after that. And Aki and him, like, they're not on good terms at all either way. But they respect each other's power, because Ace's flames are a bit more versatile than Aki Inu's magma. But yeah. But now we just go on to Luffy when he sees Zoro tied up. We question Morgan Helmpo about that, but Helmpo talks about what happened. Luffy just saw us calling Helmpo basically a reckless idiot. Helmpo asks why Luffy called him that. Even Mark Morgan's like, he killed an animal. Shouldn't that be illegal? He says, not when the animal's attacking little kids. Anything, Helmpo should be arrested for that. But Morgan just looks at how does some random commander conquer the whole South Blue? As Morgan trying to find any way to get out of trouble, as he knows Luffy's right. How does some random little commander who's 16 years old conquer the whole South Blue by beating every pirate in it, mainly by himself? He has these 2 new recruits. He met one of them not long ago, actually. But eventually he decides to basically say, "Who do you think you're talking to like that? I'm a captain, you're a commander." He says, "And you know very well that I'm demoted slowly because I joined when I was too young to actually join. If anything, right now I should be a rear admiral." Luffy's not lying. He should be the same level as Ace and Sabo. He's very very close power to his brothers. Just Sabo has armament hockey. So Ace, but Ace doesn't have observation. He's not that good with it. Or he does, but he's not good with it at all. He's going to focus on conquerors and armament hockey. Sabo can focus on both. Yeah, but Luffy currently can knock out like 10,000 people as conquerors now. So, but Ace can do like, oh, you can do 10,000. I can do 30,000. So Ace has better conquerors hockey control than Luffy does. But Luffy's observation is pretty well honed. This way compare is probably Isa from Skypiea, her. That gives me an idea later. But yeah, so Luffy basically ended up telling Morgan basically just pipe down because, well, Luffy really should be above him. Morgan basically punched Luffy in the face for showing disrespect for his different superior. Luffy easily just dodges punch. Actually, no. He's taking the punches in Tech Eye. Where it's like, that's what I thought. He goes, that didn't hurt. Also, I think your bones came out. And with his fist, realizing that Luffy's right. A few bones from his fingers are poking out of his hand. When he yelled in pain, holding his hand, screaming in pain. And Zoro just watched Luffy do this as Luffy just walked over to him and untied him, telling him he did the right thing. Then walked in, actually ended up basically walked on a ship, got a decent amount of money, throwing Zoro roughly around 100,000 berries, saying, "You earned that." How much is 100,000 berries, actually? He threw Zoro roughly like $740 around that. So, yeah. No biggie. For Luffy, that is. Luffy has like 10 million berries on board. Luffy actually asked Luffy if he's that monkey Luffy. There's no way his ship, that is. Because Luffy, where's his fleet? There's only 3 of them. Says, I mainly the fleet. Those are my students. This is behind him. Grunt is honestly kind of stomping on Morgan's head, telling him this is what he gets. Kogi's kind of bowing down and apologizing to the Marine, saying Grunt isn't usually like this. Kogi tries to push Grunt off Morgan. Zoro says, So you're the one that conquered the whole South Blue by yourself. And how old are you? You're younger than me. I just wonder why I have Zoro here. Honestly, just because I don't want to have Luffy wait around for Zoro. It's something that I don't want to have happen. So, yeah. Luffy told Zoro that he just turned 16 a month ago. And then Zoro's like, okay, that's impressive. Zoro's like, yeah, I'm 18. So, Luffy actually invites Zoro onto like his grand fleet just because he wanted to. Actually, at this point, Zoro will be 17 actually. His birthday's in November, and then Luffy just turned. Actually, yeah, he'd be 18 in front. He's like recently, not recently, but he turned 18. Luffy would invite Zoro on board. And Zoro actually wants to see Luffy's powers. Luffy just carry around a sword. Luffy can look how you see right here. Just give him a sword, but also take away the haki that you see. Yeah, but Luffy put out a sword, and then told Zoro, "Come at me then." Luffy and Zoro began swapping hands, and Luffy, because he's trained to be on CP9, he's even trained Kaku and Lucci before. Pause. Okay, I believe I was with where Zoro wanted to fight Luffy to test his skills. Luffy wanted to invite Zoro on board. And as Luffy and Zoro fight, Luffy's been trained basically as a member of CP9. He's trained Kaku, he's trained a few members of CP9 themselves, actually. So he finds Kumadori very, very fun in CP9. Kumadori and Jabra. And Kaku. Kaku and him are like on okay terms. But Luffy has access to Kaku's 4-sword style, he doesn't have a second sword with him. He only has one sword. So Luffy uses his own style of the 3-sword style. So as Luffy calls the style, Luffy says, "This is my 3-sword style." So Zoro smirks, saying, "This is my 3-sword style." And Luffy and Zoro fight. And Zoro's 3-sword style is obviously better, but Luffy's had a bit more versatility, so he ended up beating Zoro with just being so versatile. Because basically he can stretch his legs to unbelievable beliefs, but can also use Tech Eye, but also Tempest Kick and just slash the air on a larger distance and at a better angle. He ended up beating Zoro just through his Devil Fruit in combination with Rokushiki. But now with this, Luffy, Grunt, Kobe, and now Zoro. This is the current Straw Hat fleet. I will also be referring to it as fleet because that's what Luffy calls it. Even though it's literally him and Zoro as the only fighters, and Grunt occasionally going berserk and his fruit taking over. But yeah. But also Luffy had recruited Helmuppo because Kobe kind of needed a training partner that was in his league instead of Grunt, who's slightly above him. But next up is Orange Town, where they arrive there. I'm kind of having every event happen early, or actually instead of that. Luffy just turned 16. And he can probably actually get a lot of the crewmates without any much of a fight happening. Because he can get Sanji. He gets Sanji and Usopp with no fight happening. Or if there's a fight between Usopp, because Kuro's still there currently. He's recently there. So Kuro would not be as loved by the villagers, and Kaya has at least one parent, so she's not as sick. Luffy also has a lot of one posters for pirates that are prominent in the East Blue. Even if they're dead, he may not know it. And Kuro's one of those he doesn't know they're dead. So kind of showed it to Kaya. Kaya's like, "Oh, that's Clawdor." And then Luffy had beat up Clawdor, and then had the Marines called, and then he's arrested and actually executed for real this time. Luffy actually claimed his bounty because he found him alive instead of him actually being dead. And Morgan's also demoted, even though he's already arrested. But yeah. Now, yeah, Sanji, him and Steve kind of Sanji, he says that he has a few rumors on where the where the All Blue could be. And Sanji was more intrigued about that, so, yeah. But then also Luffy had met up with a few old friends, being Tashigi and Smoker, and Zoro and Tashigi got along extremely well. Tashigi even gave Zoro a copy of her booklet on legendary blades. So yeah, Zoro also bought Kitetsu and Yubashiri to replace his blades that are pretty worn down. So yeah, kind of just collects blades now. Zoro had bought Kitetsu and Yubashiri and now uses them. But a year would pass of just straight up training. Tashigi and Smoker joined Luffy's crew, and now we just go on to when they have to recruit Nami. So yeah, they kind of just go to Orange Town after getting reports that they need to liberate it. So they arrive there, and they arrive there with the Grand Fleet. Luffy's ship currently is Luffy, Grunt, Kobe, Zoro, Helmeppo, Usopp, Sanji, Tashigi, and Smoker. There's already 9 crewmates. So also, Luffy's ship is enough to fit like 100 people, like I said before, so the rooms are big. Or at least if they aren't like as big as they want them to be, the crewmates can take over literally any ship. Any room on the ship that's close to them. Like Zoro owns like a whole block of the ship as his training area. Like he knocked down all the walls and ship and everything, or in that block, and just uses it as a training area Tashigi occasionally. So yeah. Wait, hold up. Yeah, the crew that I have, like I have notes in front of me to plan out the crew members I want and how I'll convince them. I plan for 26 crewmates. So yeah, I plan for 26 crewmates. But yeah. And right now Luffy has like 9 of those, so. But Then on Orange Town, Luffy arrived, and Nami already saw the ship as it was the notorious Monkey D. Luffy, but now he actually has somewhat close to a fleet. No, he doesn't. Clearly, it's like a whole group of ships, but really just Luffy. Also, Luffy's starting to call it the Straw Hat Crew now, even though it kind of resembles the pirates, but yeah. But they kind of let him say Straw Hat Crew. He's taking into account how much it sounds like a pirate crew. Yeah. So he looks up at Buggy, and Buggy kind of looked down at Luffy seeing the Straw Hat, and then got a ship realizing it's the Straw Hat Luffy. Buggy got ready for a fight, but Luffy's right in front of him, hitting him in the gut full force, knocking him out. Luffy and Buggy's fight ends that quickly, as Kobe had saved Nami. So yeah. So Kobe's about as strong as he is near post time skip. He's been training for 2 years now as a Marine. So he's almost as strong as he is post time skip. It's just Luffy isn't as good of a teacher as Garp. So he's close to it, but not quite there. And Grunt and Kobe are roughly the same tier in power right now. Humbo's getting close to his tier. And Zoro's also decently strong, as Luffy had taught him observation hockey. Sanji had also learned observation along with Usopp. Tashi and Smoker are closing in on it, so's Kobe. While Grunt and Humbo don't have any access to hockey whatsoever right now. Grunt and Humbo don't have hockey. But yeah, Luffy right now is kind of focused on training his observation and conquerors more or less, just like wanting to perfect them. But yeah, so Kobe had saved Nami, then Luffy had beaten Buggy in one punch. Then Kabaji would attack Luffy, but Tashigi easily stopped him, while then Zoro just cut him down. Then we came to Moji. Luffy Sanji looked at him, kicked Richie in the head full force, then when in the same instance, just do the downward kick one, up, then turn that downward kick into an upward kick, and then knocked out Moji and Richie all at once. Then the remaining members of the crew Buggy was taken down by the Straw Hat crew. Buggy woke up not long after he was knocked out, but he saw his whole crew just beaten up that quickly by these 9 people. And he had 20 guys with him, and these 9 defeated them all. And now he doesn't know. He just wonders, yes, Luffy, but these guys that say you took them to South Blue with, or conquered South Blue with, he's like, oh no, I did that on my own. And well, that was 2 years ago. I was 15. I could have done it quicker than usual though. Luffy then actually examines Buggy sell through, and kind of showing off how strong, kind of actually wants to fight Buggy and wants Buggy to show off all his abilities. Buggy kind of just smirked, saying, "Hey, you're pretty handy, huh? Also, how long have you had your fruit for?" Buggy says how long he's had his fruit for, and Luffy's like, I guess how little you train, obviously. He can place Buggy in the stomach, saying, "You look like a skeleton. How about this? Join my crew, and I'll make sure that I'll make sure you're wicking that fruit. I guarantee you that you splitting apart objects would be better than splitting apart your body." As if you're honestly taking a random guess of what Buggy's awakening could be. My opinion, I have 2 theories, which is the splitting things apart, but also Buggy being able to split his body apart in just small shards, basically one of the size of atoms. He can reform in any shape and anywhere he wants to be. At least as long as it's within eyesight, but turn into atoms and go into his body and just explode out of it a lot bigger. Then shrink yourself back to normal size. So this way I can imagine Buggy's awakening fruit could possibly be turn into atoms, then regrow yourself out of atoms. But it would take a lot of concentration and focus. Also, Buggy is pretty dumb, so I don't think he'd get good control over that awakening. Maybe in 2 Piece we'll find out. If he's alive in 2 Piece, who knows? But yeah. Buggy kind of thought of the idea, saying, how are you sure that you can help me awaken my fruit? He goes, well, because I have Vegapunk and me on good terms. I'm a Delver user, pretty strong like that. I'm Garp's grandson, if that counts as anything else. Some Buggy says, no said. I'll join, but just let these guys escape. He goes, oh yeah, no biggie. We kind of drag them all onto the ship and kick the boat out to sea at full force. So yeah, he says, just keep them there. I'm not sure that they can suffice as their own crew. But he says, maybe Kabaji can. And Moji if he's lucky, but Richie's going to be the one in command, I guarantee it. He says, probably the line seemed cool. But let's make up the Straw Hat crew of the East Blue. Luffy, Grunt, Kobe, Zoro, Humpo, Nami, Buggy, Usopp, Sanji. Tashigi and Smoker as well. But Nami is not too sure, but then asks Luffy about Arlong Park, and he says he has to do that other way because there's a dirty Marine funding him money named Nezumi. Or Arlong's funding money to Nezumi. So first they did in Nezumi's basement, Nami actually going there with them, And Luffy immediately jumps in the air and just you went your third, crushing the top half of the Marine base and landing. As Luffy's goal is not to basically just, well, his orders aren't to, well, it's to say to at least get Nezumi out alive, while Luffy just plans to go all out here. So yeah, Luffy put out a sword, being kind of just slashing down, not trying to kill anyone, but just making sure that they're down for the count. And he tells them all, just wait out here, this is his mission, not theirs. So yeah. He just moves around the whole base at insane speeds, cutting down anyone in his path, not killing them, but making sure they're down for a while. Eventually Nezumi ran out screaming in pain, and Luffy appeared behind him, hitting the back full force with just one giant elbow. Not giant elbow, but one that's supposed to elbow to the spine, breaking it, and paralyzes him from the waist down. Everyone else, Luffy targeted just where to elbow him right in the back. So right as he hit the ground, he's just unconscious. And then Luffy says, I'll just call Garp, he should be here. Or I'll call Gramps, he should be here. We end up calling Garp, and Garp arrived, seeing Luffy's crew's training, and Luffy kind of sitting on top of Nezumi. Everyone there's arrested, and Helmpost to see Morgan on board the ship. So yeah. Morgan's even a second chance, but then he got arrested again. So, yeah. But Helmpost actually has to politely get Morgan off the ship so he can fight him just to see if he's stronger than his dad now. And he actually is, so, yeah. But now with this, the Rats leave the East Blue. Well, first, not leave it, they leave it. They head to Kogashi Village, and they beat up Arlong. Well, Luffy does, but Arlong sees the ship and immediately realizes he probably can't win this fight, because this guy conquered the whole East Blue. Not East Blue, South Blue. But he told Buggy to go fight Arlong, as these two were the heads of the East Blue originally. So Buggy and Arlong fight, but Arlong can't really get a successful hit on Buggy. So yeah. Because Buggy is, for the first time in a while, is actually training, and is getting decently into shape. So honestly, it's a cool place to just fight a trickery, and Arlong not being able to escape Buggy's grasp. But Buggy eventually asks Luffy, do they need Arlong alive? He says, no, our goal is honestly just free this place from the fishmen. Then Buggy smirked as he had tons of knives in his hands, and everyone watched Buggy load up Arlong along with knives. It was basically every second. By the time it's over, Arlong just looks like a porcupine and just dies. Buggy smirked, saying, I knew I was stronger than him. Zoro's fighting Hachi's dodging every single one Hachi starts using his hilt to just occasionally parry the attack and smack him in the jaw with the hilt. But she walks inside, grabbing Arlong's giant shark tooth, telling Hachi that this will hurt, but he won't kill him. Everyone sees Zoro cut Hachi with it, and Zoro kind of just walked in and kind of hung the blade up in his room. Or, yes, in his block, but yeah. Eventually, because Luffy's like, well, you can't own a whole block, you can own at least, each own, 4 rooms. What up? He's like, you each can own, 4 rooms, and there's enough room for 3, but what if you get a free closet? So, yeah. So, yeah, there's, 3 rooms for each, and Luffy has, a decent amount of people he wants on his crew, so he's estimating around 3 rooms per person, but someone gets a big closet, and the big closet goes to Nami, so you claimed it first. But not this, she's on the crew as navigator. And, well, she doesn't object to this because Luffy showed that he was actually a good guy. But now with this, we just go on to, what was it? Pause. Alabasta. Alabasta Saga, that is. So, they're heading over Reverse Mountain, they land, and when they land at the bottom, they see Crocus, kind of yelling at Don Krieg. But Don Krieg's like, come on, oh man, move the whale, someone's coming after us. But then realizing those Don Krieg saying, oh yeah, he's like a rogue Marine Commodore. Before they actually engage, suddenly his ship is cut in half, and then we end up seeing Mihawk emerging, cutting down basically every member of the crew. We look at closely saying, oh, Mihawk. Luffy end up waving to him. Mihawk saw Luffy saying, oh, him. Luffy appeared at the top of the ship asking Luffy what he's doing here. Luffy and Mihawk are on decent terms. They're not friends, but they've come to have a common conversation if they see each other. But that is if Luffy doesn't say anything, if Luffy doesn't notice him. But yeah, Luffy and Mihawk talk, and Luffy eventually told Tashigi and Zoro want to be the best swordsmen, and one wants to be the best swordswoman. Then Mihawk would test both their skills, even test Luffy's skills. Luffy now has 2 swords, so the 4 swords are back in action, as he does it better than Kaku's 4-sword style. So with this, Mihawk isn't beaten by any one of them at all, not even close to it. But he does say that Luffy's is the most impressive, because he's also the most versatile. Whiskey Peak, Luffy already thought that a lot of you guys have bounties, so he's guessing this is probably more or less a bounty hunter village. He nods, saying, well, Nami, Tashigi, you guys are the only ones willing to hit women, and Grunt and Zoro, you guys are just brutal, so you 2 can't. Nami and Tashigi, just cut down and fight any woman you see. Because most likely everyone here is a bounty hunter. But suddenly Luffy starts to be punched in the face, by some nun. Luffy uses kind of fish threw her over a ship and into the water, saying, and I don't know who that was, but go Straw Hats. That they all began fighting, and Luffy had confronted Igaram, Mr. Nine, Miss Monday, who got back on the land, and Vivi. When he beat them all up, it was very simple. Honestly, in front of all four of them, that did very swift kicks to each of their faces. They all hit the ground unconscious. So yeah. But around 5 minutes later, all shots emerge, and well, they're all unscathed. Nami has like one single scratch, like just sort of some up, but those are the weakest on the crew. But eventually, Vivi just says who she is, and she looks closer at the ship, realizing this is the Straw Hat Luffy. Technically, he owns the whole South and East Blue now, so yeah. Or he got most of the islands there to join under his command, but not under the world government. As the world government doesn't know that Luffy and Ace and Sabo plus Garp, don't really obey the world government at all, or show any respect towards it. So moving on Luffy's island is probably a good way to lose Luffy. So they're going to move on to South or East Blue, trying to get them join the government. No, just they're under the Marines. That's it. They're under Luffy. Plus Ace, Sabo, and Garp, and Sengoku. But yeah, Sengoku doesn't really talk about those islands to the world government. But yeah. Now with this, we should go on to Little Garden. But when it came down to basically the waxack fruit, Luffy already identified what fruit this was and saying it belongs to someone who's under Crocodile. Now with this, well, Vivi would ask how this is, but how Luffy knows this, that is. But he even says, because Crocodile's a warlord. So that means he works for the government and he's doing this behind our back. He smirked, saying, so, what do you guys think about this? Should we do some warlord hunting? And all starts just nodding, because they all like, well, Nami doesn't really have as much knowledge, but everyone else has a decent amount of knowledge for the warlords. Buggy just has his ear to the ground to pirate life, so he just knows about this, but He smirks saying he's ready. His Buggy's had completely changed, like from his white and black shirt, it's his white and blue shirt now. He has the Marine cap. And with the materials on the strike ship, Luffy also encouraged Buggy to take a new approach to power as well. Buggy kind of looks how he does post-time skip, it's just his red blanket is blue now, just because Marine colors. And then Luffy's only straw that technically wears red, that's his favorite color. But they couldn't find anything else that was red besides Luffy's things. But yeah. Pause. Alright. Yeah, so Luffy heard about the black fruit and identified the weakness of this fruit is probably just insane heat. Luffy instills his hat, saying, alright, gotta keep this on tight though. Puts it on his head and then wait a second. Interesting to run at max speed, and the heat going his body and melted most of the wax. But was actually around enough, he found Mr. 3 and hit him in the gut with one punch. But then before he can get painted on, he jumped right over her, kind of pushing her towards kind of just, I'd say Buggy, and just bonked her in the head and to knock her out, saying, damn brat, how she's like 6? Because I believe she's actually the same age as Kobe. Kobe says, hey, what, she's my age? I did saying, yep, I believe she's 16. But yeah. Now this thing, they interrogate Mr. 3. Mr. 3 reveals where Crocodile's hiding out. And also where Cobra is, or at least where he's rumored to be. Now we head to Drum Island. The Drum Island because Nami had gotten bit by a bug, so they're heading there to treat her. He's not that good of a doctor, so he can't really cure her. He can kind of treat her a little bit, but can't cure it. So while they're there, they're identified as a Marine ship, so there's no one really there to, well, I guess mess with them. Not mess with them, but yeah. Now guys, we're running something else. Ace is actually chasing Blackbeard. Because Ace is actually on better terms with White Pirates than basically anyone else. So yeah, he's like the Marine that can jump on their boat and just drink sake with them for like an hour then leave. So yeah. Also just because he's sent to Jinbei. But Ace is stationed in the New World right now. So he can't really be in the East Blue. So Luffy doesn't see him on Alabasta or anything else. He has Ace's end of Mushi number. But Ace's mission is almost over, so he can come back soon. Then Sabo is actually the one Luffy would meet at Alabasta. Also, just because he heard rumors he's doing this illegally, but yeah. On Drum Island. So on Drum Island, Luffy eventually found a doctor, and Doctor was like, "Oh, you guys are Marines, huh? Sorry, but we're not too kind to Marines." I said, "No worries, we don't blame you." But do you happen to know about anything about Crocodile, or also can cure her? Besides Nami over the counter Dr. Reen. And Dr. Reen says, "Crocodile, what, the animal or something?" He's like, "No, never mind that. Can you just cure her though? I'll pay you." Or then again, Luffy's ship saying, "There's something of value here. There's something of value here." Picked up 1,000,000 berries, saying, "This will work." Says, "Sure, why not?" And then with this, Dr. Reen took the 1,000,000 berries. How much money is that in US dollar? Yeah, Dr. Reen took basically $7,000. But yeah. But eventually when Nami's I guess cured, so to say, Luffy's kind of up there on his own. Well, not on his own. He has Grunt, who's kind of like his follower now. Grunt and Zoro are, and just like they're kind of like competing for Luffy's loyalty or who's the most loyal. So they're always with Luffy. He doesn't really mind it. He doesn't care. But yeah. So these two are kind of both just both with Luffy. But when Wapol, Mushiro, Chess, and Kuromaimo returned, Chess is just not Chess. I mean, Mushiro is Wapol's brother from like that one Alabasta. Nah, that's the one Gem Island movie. I like the movie, and Mushiro was a decent character. But yeah, they see the submarine ship and they're wondering why Marine's here, but why they're at the castle. That's one. I've heard how much of a tyrant you are, so I'm kind of just here to take your kingdom from you. But also, well, you kind of suck. So, well, mainly because you're a bad king and you suck, I'm just here to beat you up. That Chess and Mushiro both, not Chess, I mean, Wapol and Mushiro both attack Luffy, and he defeats them both relatively easily. Well, I mean, they activate a stealth fruit, grabbing Chess with one hand and throwing him completely just right off from island, both force throwing him into the West Blue. Because it's this, the Kion has enough throwing force to match canonical Luffy's Gomu no Bazooka, which actually sends Wapol to the West Blue. Now Chess is thrown there, and Wapol's Gomu no Bazooka there. And then Luffy easily kind of did like a pivot blow, nailing Mushiro in the back of the head, knocking him out. Well, then Zoro kind of cut down Kuromaimo. So yeah. Now with this, well, Kuromaimo was arrested, and now Mushiro is also arrested. But Luffy kind of said to give them cease on handcuffs. They can do whatever they want to these two. But Luffy also convinced Chopper to join the crew. Chopper eventually did. So yeah. Because Luffy's like, you think you're a freak? Look at Grunt, he's a freak. Grunt says, rude, but not wrong. And this is Grunt shows off like two giant muscular hairy arms when he goes to Devil Fruit. And then, well, we have smokers who's just made of smoke. But what sold it? Chopper saw a clown as a marine. Like, there's a clown in your crew, huh? I'll join then. And that sold him. But yeah. So now with this, we go on to basically Alabasta Arc. But when they arrive, well, they honestly arrive dropping basically everyone in their path. And Crocodile was from that Straw Hat Luffy was here. And Crocodile's a bit nervous because, well, Luffy's supposed to be a really strong marine who owns the South and East Blue now. So yeah. But they kind of go through everywhere and tells Luffy to do what she wants, but then like, straight up invade Crocodile. Or just bomb a Crocodile. Well, Smoker and we'll kind of send out like just basically a fleet being, not a fleet, but like a small unit being Nami, Buggy, Sashigi, and Smoker. Those four kind of just go off by themselves. Buggy and Sashigi are good for basically just sneaking in. Well, Buggy and Smoker both are actually. She and Nami are kind of their info systems. When everyone else kind of just rushes the castle at like full speed and full force, leading to Zoro fighting against Mr. 1, but Zoro kind of cut him down in just seconds. It wasn't even a fight. And then we go into Silverfinger, who would fight against Kobe. Kobe's isn't really for hitting women, but well, he easily beat her. So yeah. Then Mr. 2 has to fight against Sanji, but he keeps turning into Nami. But Grunt has no qualms against hitting women, even if they're fake. Well, even if they're not women, but well, he's a newcomer, so technically he's a man and a woman. But yeah, Grunt has no qualms towards hitting anyone. Grunt jumped in, picking up Mr. 2 and throwing him into the ground full force. So yeah. Then Mr. 3 is already beaten. Mr. 4 fights Usopp still. Usopp is like a bit in better shape, so him and Mr. 4 kind of just, well, Usopp beats him, but still it was a pretty close fight. Mr. Kitchen has to fight Chopper, but actually win. Chopper actually went a lot easier. Mr. 5, he wasn't on Whiskey Peak, so it just ends down to I'm confidently say him versus Helmpo. And this fight ends with Helmpo winning, but it was still a pretty decent fight. But then when it goes on to basically Miss Valentine, Luffy just walked by and threw her, and then threw her full speed in the air, and she hit the ground hard. Then when it came to Crocodile, Luffy and Sanji will both walk in. Sanji can't fight Crocodile. He can fight Crocodile. But now Luffy just jumps at Crocodile and sees Crocodile fight, and Sanji occasionally helping by actually throwing water in the middle of the fight, where it hit Crocodile and Luffy is able to hit him. But Crocodile eventually beaten, and Luffy not taking too much damage. He eventually will have an idea now. But I was nervous as Luffy basically said that there's Marines on their way, but he has to wait for Crocodile to not get arrested. Well, Crocodile asked us what that would be, and Luffy can still Crocodile just join his crew. Crocodile can still study his poneglyphs with him, but Crocodile will always be under Luffy. And well, most of Brokerworks will get arrested besides him. I was a bit hesitant, but seeing Marines closing on the base says, Fine, I'll join. And says, good. Mr. One, you want to come? And Mr. One's like, just ready to cut Sanji down from behind. Sanji already saw him there and has his foot like just raised, like, kind of behind, just ready to raise Mr. One's chin. Mr. One says, wherever he goes, I go. So now that Luffy has Luffy has himself, Grunt, Kobe, Zoro, Helmeppo, Nami, Buggy, Usopp, Sanji, Tashigi, Smoker, Chopper, Crocodile, and now Mr. One. Well, now Robin also joins. They have Robin. Now this makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 people. So yeah. So everyone claims they're just other one, new ones claim their 3 rooms, and now they're set. So yeah. But now we just go on to, let's say, probably just Crocodile isn't arrested, but Brokeworks is. Luffy says he'll him for interrogation. He's willing to actually share all the information he has with us, and I'll be following the information trail. Crocodile isn't too pleased about being under Luffy, but he has no other choice. So yeah. Now we're going to Jaya, where it's not even really a. Nami doesn't tell Luffy not to cause trouble. He's relatively a calm person, but tells Grunt and Zoro to not cause trouble. And Buggy, basically, those 3 shouldn't cause trouble. Then Buggy kind of pals around Luffy a lot sometimes, if they're going to somewhere just for fun, which is Jaya. Now, everyone in Jackson giving Luffy dirty looks because he's a Marine. Even when Burgess had burst out of that place, she's a Marine tried to basically pick up Luffy and beat him up. Luffy kind of picked him up with one arm and threw him halfway across Jaya. So yeah, so everyone knows these Marines were no joke. One of them defines him as Straw Hat Luffy, the man who rules the East and South Blue. That's kind of his rep. He owns the 2 blues. And that must be his current forces. His Grand Fleet isn't with him, but they're all monsters like him. Okay, so in the bar, Bellamy wants to fight Luffy, but Luffy says, no, he's busy drinking. But eventually, Bellamy sends Luffy's head through a table. Luffy kind of spun around using just one Tempest kick, which almost cut him clean in half. Bellamy hit the ground, holding his gut, as he's just coughing up blood. Luffy says, well, I tell you, I was drinking. Now bug off. Luffy screams to Bellamy, running to their ship, putting him on, and sailing away. Luffy meets Blackbeard, but he already knows he's on Whitebeard's crew. He's currently an ally of Whitebeard from the shadows. So yeah, well, Sengoku and Garp are as well, because they know Luffy and Ace Sabo, but they don't know they're allies. But yeah. So now with this, we'll Luffy and Blackbeard talk, and Luffy identified who he was, and Blackbeard identified who Luffy was. So Luffy says, yeah, my brother's looking everywhere for you. And here's just a warning, but I don't know where he is, so good luck. Luffy walked away with just those few words. My brother's looking for you, I don't know where he is though, so good luck. Yeah. And this draws me Cricket, they get shot in the sky eventually. They sail around the sky, and Buggy can't believe he's here again, so, yeah. He converted exo berries for them, so they're able to pay get in and not get harassed by the local military. But eventually Luffy decided to explore after he heard about Enel. Luffy's kind of just doing this from shadows, and kind of whispering at a frequency that only humans can hear, but Enel can't sense with the talkie. Basically, you can hear a few words, but not every little syllable. So he can barely make out Luffy's words. This one, Luffy just kind of told that he was one of the strongest people on the Blue Sea. A few people joined him. Even though this is but isn't a lie, he's one of the people currently in his area of the Blue Sea. So that allowed Wiper to join up with his cause to beat Enel, and then Isa eventually wanted to help, so she joined as well. Isa's a little girl that can use observation hockey, but yeah. But eventually they're ready to basically face down against Enel's forces, and they're kind of right outside Verth as they just charge in now, and they beat up all of Enel's forces with relatively no effort. Like anytime they fight, they can end in one shot. But anytime Enel and Luffy already knew that this would be a messy fight, kind of just removed the marine gear besides maybe like shorts and a straw hat, but or she tried a straw hat too. But only using right now shorts, and he is just ready to throw hands. Luffy popped his neck, began jumping in the air lightly, then charged full speed ahead, straight towards Enel. Enel was amazed at the speed, and he had dodged when he attacks. Luffy kind of did more like a flip at one point, and did a kick to cut Enel across the face. Enel yelled in pain, wondering what that attack was, saying he hasn't felt pain in 6 years. What the hell is that? It was just, well, this wind. No, it's a wind, but shaped. Not really a physical attack. Or not really a blunt force attack. But also, you weren't expecting it, so you let your guard down. Because you're not perfect Logia, are you? Crocodile from behind him says, no, he's not. I slash at him, and will now try to hit him with just like millions of volts. The Crocodile just easily just went past them like they were nothing. But Crocodile was actually able to use Enel, and with him now being a perfect Logia, he got cut across the face using Crocodile's poison hook. Or because he got Zoro used poison hook. So yeah. Now the ground Crocodile says that they're poisoned now. He'll die in a matter of hours. Enel sat down. This is a lie in Crocodile. Crocodile's telling the truth. He will die in a matter of hours. Before he says anything, if he stomps someone in his head full force, knocking him out. So yeah. Enel dies. But they don't have this fruit. Well, they do. Luffy can just do it in the white sea, saying, and the sea can have it. So yeah, the sea kind of just swallowed it up. Well, actually, Nami could use that Del fruit, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 Del fruit users of the 15, so I don't think they need more. But Wiper would join the crew for me because he's one 26 I have planned out. So is Isa. But I also think that Enel's fruit could be in the good hands of Wiper because he's a pretty decent engineer. So yeah, pause. Yeah, they have Wiper now, and then Isa eventually joins. Luffy identified her observation hockey being very well tuned. Someone even as a baby, she could use observation to sense out whenever a fight broke out across Shandia. I even would say that her observation hockey matches Enel's, who's one of the best hockeys we've ever seen. So yeah. So as they leave, well, they leave with Isa and Wiper. And now with this, well, they head down to G8, where they kind of just rest for a bit, since the arc ended a bit early. So they hang out there and rest, they train for a bit. And Wiper got accustomed to the blue sea. Also was told he'd drown in regular water too, but yeah. The Wiper got accustomed to using Del fruit with help of Crocodile and Buggy. Well, Luffy just began working on this new power beam, thinking of being Gear 3rd. So because he's come to training on half the island. With Zoro and Grunt at his side. Kobe as well. So yeah. But now we should go on to the Water 7 saga. So first we go on to Water 7. Well, this arc isn't relatively unchanged. But when Robin basically with them with CP9, they kind of ask why she's with Luffy, she's playing him. Or if she's playing him. There's no, but she's honestly we're just waiting to tell them she's part of the Marines now. As no one knows this. But eventually, they let her go. She seemed to be genuine about this. Even Lucci said that she seems to be genuine, as he knows Luffy. Luffy's not that bad of a guy. And Luffy is actually decently friendly with CP9, or at least most of them. He's friends with Kumadori and Jabra. He's on decent terms with Kaku as well. And Lucci just knows Luffy is not an idiot. So yeah, that's all he knows. Luffy isn't an idiot. So yeah. He already worked back to the lobby that Robin had officially joined the Marines, and now Garp had come to Water 7. So the end of the lobby arc doesn't happen, despite it being one of the best, it doesn't happen. There's no reason for it to happen. I don't see CP9 betraying Luffy at all. Because he's friends with 3 of them, and when one of them trusts him. Garp arrived and kind of inducted Luffy's whole crew into the Marines. Only ones that weren't inducted already were Nami, Buggy, Chopper, Crocoboy, Mr. One, Robin, and Wiper. Isa as well. They weren't inducted yet. But Luffy also does this mission to basically find out about Pluton. We already guessed who had it, being Frankie, as he already fought Frankie before and already beat him. Because they tried to rob Usopp, then Frankie beat up Usopp. Then Luffy came back and avenged Usopp. But yeah, so him and Frankie fight, and Luffy eventually punched Frankie in the chest, unlocking the cargo compartment and pulling out the blueprints to the Pluton. Luffy read the blueprints, saying these are pretty impressive. Frankie immediately tried to get them back, thinking that Luffy would try to take them, but Luffy handed them back to Frankie calmly. Luffy's telling Frankie that he's not doing this. He just wanted to check who had it. He wasn't told to take them from you. And Frankie already knew this probably was the mission, but Luffy is just going word by word, not word for the real meaning, or real meaning for word. But yeah. Luffy then actually asks Frankie if he can repair a ship, because reportedly Iceberg actually that Frankie's a better shipwright. When he then an idea is to actually begin taking apart Luffy's whole ship, and with the help of Galileo, even CP9, well, they built Luffy's whole ship. Like CP9 helps rebuild the ship. Even if you guys in Lobby come by and rebuild Luffy's whole ship, making it a lot bigger. Because there's like blocks for each individual Straw Hat member, so not each individual, not blocks, but there's like four rooms for each Straw Hat. Well, not 4 rooms. There's the whole area that's worth about four normal sized bedrooms for the Straw Hats. Doubles as a training area, their bedroom, and their bathing area too. So yeah, Nami's, Robin's, and Tashiki's are all blacked out, just so Sanji doesn't try anything. And Isa kind of just rooms a chopper, so yeah, they didn't need as much area. Well, this is honestly into the Enel Lobby arc, and Water 7 Saga itself, and they head all the way into basically into Florian Triangle or Thriller Bark Saga. They meet Brook, and Luffy actually let Brook join his crew, and he even ended up basically tying Brook's ship to his own. Brook on his round, and Luffy identified he had no shadow. Before he said the thing, Luffy already called out Moria. They can't beat up Moria because he's a warlord and he hasn't really done anything illegal other than Yosef. He kind of just running his own island. And so far, his only victims have been pirates. So Moria can be arrested, but they can rough him up. As he just smirked, saying they can't beat him up and knock him out. They can rough him up a bit just to mess with him. So then after the bark, we walked around, and old Moria identified the giant ship with a monkey on it, saying Luffy. He says, "Damn it, that brat really." Everyone's like wondering why he's so mad that way, so pressed about it, he says, "That's right, Luffy. He owns 2 blues." Well, everyone knows Luffy for owning 2 blues. He doesn't even get any money from them, he owns the blues. He doesn't even own them, really. If he doesn't get money from them, he doesn't own them. He kind of just protects them. Yeah. Luffy eventually kind of just walked straight into to Moria's base, and him and Moria talk, and they talk about all the shadows he has. Like no one attacks the Florian Triangle. At least give back global screws. He meant them on their way in. He says, "Give them back their shadows and give Brook back his shadow. He's part of my crew." Moria refuses. She asked Luffy what he can do about it. He's just a brat. Suddenly, Luffy geared 3rd arm, grabbed Moria by the face and threw him halfway across the lower bark. Then everyone starts to watch Moria being beaten half to death by Luffy. When Luffy's done, everyone just watches Moria just on the ground, almost just crying in pain. He goes up to Moria, and he asks Moria, "Is it done?" Moria snaps his fingers, as Zoro has been sparring with Ryuma. Ryuma says, "You may have my blade," and he hands over the sword. So yeah, Luffy ended up giving Zoro ended up giving Yubashiri to actually Luffy, because she isn't a 2-sword user. Luffy uses 2 swords, but both of them are unnamed until now. So yeah, Luffy has Yubashiri. But yeah, Moria's just crying in pain at this. Just crying in pain that you have to give back so many shadows. Without little screens up leaving, thinking Luffy, and because none of them are really bad people, he knows this, they kind of just leave. Then the crew is formed and they leave. So Luffy currently has Luffy has himself, Grunt, Kobe, Zoro, Helmeppo, Nami, Buggy, Usopp, Sanji, Tashigi, Smoker, Chopper, Crocodile, Mr. One, Robin, Wiper, Isa, Frankie, now Brook. That's 19 people. So yeah. And now with this, well, as the leaving Piranha just started to do like her whole ghost thing on them. Luffy already called him to dodge the ghost, with it help everyone dodge the ghost. Luffy shows Luffy, how dare you be a bit up Moria-sama? He goes, well, how about this? Well, he's gonna be unconscious for a while, and I can help you here, because he can't offer you any help. Like, name one useful thing he did. And Luffy just gaslights Piranha into joining his crew, because he finds her ability interesting and fun. He plays it smart, but also plays it funny. So yeah, so we give him Piranha to join his crew. But now we just go on to basically just Ace versus Blackbeard. As Ace recently got back into the Grand Line, or he was already in it. He was in the New World, but yeah, Blackbeard heard Ace was gunning for him and got information where Ace was and ambushed him. So with Ace being ambushed, kind of on the back foot right now, he has Haki on his side. But he also was on an island mainly full of pirates. So yeah, Ace kind of being overrun by basically everyone on this island. point where the island's basically in flames, and Ace can barely even withstand Blackbeard's devil fruit because he was ambushed from behind. With Ace being ambushed, eventually, well, he is captured by Blackbeard and held up for ransom, even though Blackbeard just became a warlord. Well, now he's being held up for ransom, they're kind of nervous. Garp had called Luffy, and Luffy heard about it. He's now nervous, and Luffy had actually told everyone that he's going to reveal a big secret to them. But first, he's going to have Sengoku and Garp get on this boat. So with this, Luffy eventually called up basically, he had called, Marco. Yeah, he called Marco. He told Marco what happened. Marco says, we can't send out a whole fleet as we're too far away, but we can send out a few allied crews. Luffy agreed to this, and now, there's a few Wybird allies with Luffy's fleet. Well, not fleet, with his crew, I guess. But Garp is with Luffy. So yeah. The thing is, Blackbeard's aware that Luffy is allied with Whitebeard, so he sets up a trap for these allied crews, being stronger crews, so they bribe with money. And one of the crews he bribed is Moria's. So yeah, he bribed Moria's, freed Baroque Works, from the Marines, and now this is his crew. Remnants of Baroque Works, remnants of Buggy's crew, remnants of Arlong's crew. Can took any crew that Luffy was enemies with and just absorbed them. Like, he can ally with any crew that Luffy that hated Luffy, because personally hated him, like Black Cat Pirates for instance, as part of his crew. He'll use basically these numbers plus Moria's just zombies to basically take down his allies, and any Marine that came along with Luffy is killed. So Ace is then saved by Luffy, but this arc also plays out very similar to Marineford, but there's less Marines and there's more pirates attacking this Marine group. Crocodile had even began fighting Blackbeard himself, and was able to stab Blackbeard right in the side. He didn't poison; it was honestly a regular hook. Mr. Warren then cut across his chest as Buggy and Usopp combined these two goats. They had beaten Bean Van Augur. But before they could do anything else, Burgess was starting from his fight with with Frankie, slammed right into them, and actually breaking every bone in Usopp's body almost. But yeah, so with honestly just numbers, they're being overwhelmed completely. Luffy's Conquered Hockey isn't working on the zombies. So, yeah, not even Garp's is. But with this, Blackbeard actually snuck a knife and stabbed Ace right in the back. Yeah, so this war is honestly just going, not even a war, it's honestly just a one-sided slaughter. There's too many numbers for the Straw crew to overwhelm. Luffy on his own, losing Conquerors, people that work can handle thousands. But his Conquerors isn't working on basically anyone besides Blackbeard's low-numbered crew. But then Blackbeard also calls in, because he took over Baroque Works. So he calls in basically every number, or besides Mr. 3 and Mr. 2, besides those two numbers, I like them the most. Basically just, those two don't come, but the millions and billions do, all of them, plus the numbers that stayed, and, also just called in a lot more things, because either more zombies for anyone that died, more just makes them zombies. So yeah. Like, each time someone dies, more it can make them a puppet. Doesn't matter. He even brought ores with him, because Luffy didn't destroy ores, and he's controlled ores. So yeah. Now this was on the losing side, and Ace is just dying of blood loss. Chopper got to him, dragged him onto the boat, and was healing him. Because Whitebeard was too far away, they had no assistance in this. Allies had got sunk by the zombies. So, yeah. And they didn't think Blackbeard seriously because he didn't have hockey. They thought Luffy could handle it. They might take into account how many allies he had just recently gotten. But yeah, so Ace just dies because he got hoed. And it's not even a good reason why. I'm sorry about that, but Ace just dies for Luffy's character development. But yeah, so Ace dies. Blackbeard had then was going to help Luffy's fruit, Ace's fruit in victory. Luffy can just punch through the fruit, hitting Blackbeard in the face, sending him to the ground. But Luffy's lost a little bit of energy. So then the fruit is almost completely destroyed. But suddenly, from above, he would hear someone just yell, "Get away from my brother," and slams basically into Blackbeard. This is actually Sabo who picked up the fruit and took a bite out of it. Instead of it being crushed, Sabo actually took the first bite out of it and, gave him the devil fruit. He lays his corpse and sobs. But, first he kind of just basically scorches Blackbeard's crew, allowing everyone to escape. As Sabo was not aware of what happened. So yeah. But now with this, with basically how easily Luffy's main crew was overwhelmed by these many numbers, and Blackbeard's whole fleet, basically, Yeah. Yeah, Blackbeard's bounty is raised to be around 2.5 billion compared to 2.2 billion berry bounty. Because he also, well, Blackbeard had died in the time skip that's going to happen, and Blackbeard just invaded the funeral and took his devil fruit. Using his numbers, he overwhelmed the Blackbeard's crew, snuck in, took the devil fruit, ate it. Boom. So yeah, he wasn't gonna eat the Nami, but Saba's a good homie and snuck in. But also Luffy destroyed most of the fruit. But somehow it didn't go into anyone. But yeah, pause. But where was I? Yeah, Ace got Hoden in the time skip. No, well, Blackbeard, it's dead. I got the devil fruit. Yeah, all right, got it. So where can we go from here? Well, Luffy was out of the teacher, but would have something else for other Marines. Well, for other Marines on his group. Well, first, what Luffy would do is she got Rayleigh again. As he still just had Odie, that was no different, honestly. He didn't fight any Marines. He fought Kid in Law and Killer, but yeah, Zoro fought Killer, but everyone else kind of just fought each other. But yeah, Luffy got Rayleigh again. Actually, basically just begs Rayleigh to teach him. And Luffy and Rayleigh are actually on pretty good terms still. Like, they're about as good as they are in canon. Just Luffy isn't a pirate, but Rayleigh does acknowledge Luffy as a pirate, has a spirit very similar to Roger. So yeah. So this Luffy ends up basically just training with Rayleigh for the whole 2 years. Occasionally Sengoku would stop by just to check on the training. So yeah. So at this, well, Luffy basically just training with Rayleigh, Grunt, Kobe, and Helmpo training with Garp and Sabo. Grunt, Kobe, and Helmpo training with Garp and Sengoku occasionally Sabo. Zoro trained with Mihawk, and so did Tashigi. And then Nami had basically just went to she went to Witheria as basically just what her told her about it, and she found it and went there. Buggy kind of just trained just the vice admirals, and Usopp had basically found the island that basically had the legendary animals on it, and there's something called pop greens, but no one's ever made it out alive, and Usopp was determined to make it out alive and get one. Where he had met Hercules and trained there for 2 years. Sanji ended up heading to New Common Land to train there, but not as a Marine, just as a friend trying to help his other friend accomplish his goals. Chopper had heard about an island full of basically just wondrous medicine, and he went there. Crocodile, honestly, just trained with Vice Admirals with Buggy, sort of Mr. One. Robin had actually just trained with Sengoku most of the time. Wiper and Frankie ended up going to Vegapunk's home island, with Vegapunk actually sending them there to fix up his technology. Or to kind of claim any of his old technology and fix it up. And Luffy ended up having Iso with him. So yeah. Brook basically ends up training with just more just sword structures of the Marines, where Brook ends up learning hockey from them. Portage trains in Jinbei, joining Luffy's training to teach him fisherman karate, as Luffy seemed to be a very good hand-to-hand combatant. Luffy already has 10 martial arts under his belt. Completely mastered, too. Well, now that we had on Fishman Island arc. Because they're allies, Whitebeard and Whitebeard's crew isn't wiped out, there's no payback war. There's a funeral, and when Whitebeard snuck in and took the fruit. Once the fruit was taken, the fight stopped. So there's no payback war. Fishman Island is still in pretty good shape, actually. So there's no Fishman Island arc. They honestly all by there so Jim makes sense to say goodbye, so he can basically just that thing. But yeah. Then Dressrosa. But then we have the Z's ambition. So yeah, so basically this Film Z. Film Z honestly isn't really too. Luffy sees basically just Z, but Z doesn't fight them because they're Marines. But Luffy's heard of Z and tells Z he just kind of has to stop because he knows what Z's doing across the world. So Z says he won't stop, but Luffy and Z fight. Luffy's a lot stronger than Cannon, as he learned armament hockey, but already has advanced observation hockey as well, but also even better conquerors. With his power basically being stacked and stacked, he actually is able to easily contend and beat Z. Then the guy that has the flower fruit, well, he basically ends up fighting the worst guy possible. Not even worst guy possible, but Sanji. Sanji just burns his plants easily with Devil Jambe. And he beat the guy. When it came to the girl that ages people, Robin just put her in a clutch and almost killed her, but did enough to actually kind of paralyze her but not kill her. So, yeah, kind of rendering her useless now. So, yeah, Luffy, Sanji, and Robin kind of ended the whole Z Ambition arc. Z's fleet is just no diff by the rest of the Straw Hat crew. So, yeah. Then Punk Hazard, Luffy met Caesar, and told Caesar he's not here to end his studies. Well, for children he is, and Nami ended up beating up Caesar for it, as she learned hockey. When she came back, she learned hockey from Luffy, but the first Underdark was honestly just him training her in hockey, because she could use it really well. But she used observation really well. He kind of taught her the basis of armament hockey. So, you know, her first armament hockey, if he was attacked, she punched Caesar across the face and knocked him out. So, yeah. Monet and Virgo were more on Dofi's side than anything else, while Caesar's just scared of Dofi. Virgo attacked Sanji, so basically attacks Luffy, but Buggy jumped in, holding him in place, and kind of snapped Virgo's neck. So, yeah. Buggy says, and this would give her messing with the great Buggy-sama. So, yeah. Well, the Monet attack was Tashigi kind of just cut her down in half with no effort. Because Tashigi was trained by Mihawk with Zoro. Also, her and Zoro do adult things from time to time. They do the legendary cheek training. Yeah, and Perona also has like a small thing for Brook, so Ghost and Skeleton go hand in hand. But yeah, so eventually Luffy had Caesar join his crew, and Caesar eventually agreed. So yeah. And on the ship, Tashigi and Zoro engage in cheek training, and then so do Brook and Perona in their own way somehow. Whatever. Dressrosa. This arc honestly is a complete I don't want to say waste of time, but it ends relatively easily. Luffy already uses an advanced form of observation. His arm hockey is basically almost advanced. The point where even in some attacks, Riro pops out randomly. His Conquerors is way better than Dofi's. Way better. So, yeah. Plus, Caesar just is helping Luffy from sidelines with just tons of smoke, and Luffy not inhaling it. So, yeah. Plus, Sawa isn't here, but Burge is still beaten up by Buggy. So, the great Buggy-sama. But yeah, this arc ends relatively simply, with Dofing's whole crew being beaten and then arrested. Then Tengoku arrives to talk to Law. Luffy kind of told Law they can enter a pirate alliance. As Luffy he knows his history about God Valley and everything. And to Tengoku, this can be a pirate alliance. The Marines don't take on emperors. Law has a game plan. And Tengoku even admits that Law has better thinking about the game plan than most Marines do. So he puts a secret alliance, but tells them don't tell anyone about this. Like every Marine here that has heard this, they say a single word about it, they'll be executed. That's it. A simple thing is it. That's it. They'll be executed. So yeah, a Marine that displays the order, keeping us quiet, they'll be executed. If you from reports that some kid is somewhere in Wano, so when they need to go beat Kaido, they know who to call for help, because Kid would never not lie himself with Kaido. So yeah. But now with this we go on to basically the Zou arc, where it's not even that big of an arc, honestly. So yeah, that Jack was there, and well, no one got nervous. Literally everyone here has some form of advanced hockey besides not everyone. Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Usopp, Crocodile, and Robin, and Isa. Those 7 have the best forms of hockey. Isa's the point where she has the best observation we've ever seen. Like, her observation is contending Katakuri. She's not a fighter, she's only strengthened her observation. Luffy encourages her to only use observation. Her observation is contending Katakuri because all she does is train her observation. So it's like hers and Enel's and Fujitora's all put into one, and then she just sees everything with nigh precognition. And Luffy's very similar with his observation. He has precognition, can sense emotions. He has Isa's form of it and Enel's form of it. There's 4 forms of hockey all put into one for Luffy, or four types of observation put into one. And Luffy can just use that, which makes him one of the better observation hockey users in the show, or in the manga. But yeah, well, given Zach here, caught up where Jack was, and then Jack was, and just have Zunisha throw up like a glass of water and just sink Jack. So yeah, and over Whole Cake Island, well, I don't see this arc being much different. They're just more people. Plus, Sanji's a Marine, so he's not gonna marry into a pirate crew. Plus, he's a notorious Marine. Big Mom does not want him in her family. There's no Whole Cake Island arc at all. And the best on the way out, they encounter Whole Cake Island forces. They beat them to hell. They fight Katakuri because Katakuri was part of the forces. Luffy and Katakuri throw hands, and Luffy had beaten Katakuri in the span of 2 hours. And the rest of the crew escapes in those 2 hours. So yeah, Luffy just had to leave him behind. But Frankie leave him just one little ship thing with Isa on it. And then Luffy sailed away with Isa. And Isa is like a little partner. So yeah, Luffy's at the point where he treats Isa like a daughter despite her not being that young. Like how old is Isa? Yeah, Isa is currently 11. She's young, but still. But yeah, Luffy beat Katakuri in 2 hours. And then the time to start, she just used a lot of attacks to let Big Mom's troops and escape themselves. Yeah, Katakuri just seemed Luffy a bigger threat than him. But Luffy doesn't get bounties, so it doesn't matter. One thing I've been avoiding heavily on purpose, but I'm kind of just will go into it now. Luffy trained with Rayleigh for the whole 2 years. Like, on Marineford, he trained with Rayleigh. Rayleigh doesn't have an active bounty anymore. Like, he has one, but it's not him when he's old, it's him when he's young. His bounty's not active anymore. So Rayleigh actually is allowed here, but everyone watches him closely. If the area where Garp had trained Kobe and Helmpo and Grunt, occasionally, Rayleigh went there occasionally to train Luffy. But yeah, Luffy's current rank, Vice Admiral. Then behind my Rear Admiral is actually Zoro, Grunt, and Sanji. Then at Commodore, Luffy ends up having Kobe, Kobe, Nami. She's not probably not. Actually, you can see Kobe. For also Vice Admiral also falls into Smoker. Then Tashigi is a Rear Admiral. So is Kobe. So is Buggy and Usopp. All like the Vice Admirals actually. Luffy, Crocodile, Mr. One, Smoker, and those are Vice Admirals. Also Zoro and Sanji. But just to make it simpler, everyone else falls within Captain and Rear Admiral. There's like Captain, Commodore, Rear Admiral. Everyone else is there. But Luffy, Zoro, Grunt, Smoker, Crocodile, and Mr. One. Yeah, Luffy, Zoro, Grunt, Sanji, Mr. One. Yeah, Luffy, Grunt, Crocodile, Zoro, Sanji, Smoker. Those are all Vice Admirals. And Mr. One too. But yeah, those are all Vice Admirals. And Robin's gonna be between Rear Admiral and Vice Admiral to the point that because of her intelligence, like you can refer to it as either rank and it'll be correct. So it doesn't really matter. But everyone else falls between Captain. Between Captain and Rear Admiral. Just keep this simple for me. But yeah. So, Wano. Well, Wano, honestly, this arc is a bit difficult to get into. So, yeah. But we can probably flesh it out a bit, because Luffy arrived not long after the Straw Hat crew did. Like, he arrived there like an hour after them. So yeah, but honestly, because the thing goes faster with less weight on it, like the Straw Hats. But yeah, they arrive. Luffy kind of stuck in and uses like a different appearance, even took off the blue band of his Straw Hat and placed it with the original red band that he always keeps in his pocket. And Isa's on his back, and Luffy kind of calls Isa his daughter. So yeah, kind of less about everyone to his age, because Luffy's body is a bit different with how he acts and everything. Luffy's a bit taller, like he's and Zoro have basically the same physical build, just different physical like they're depends on the outside look different, but their muscle mass, their height, everything basically identical. So yeah. But yeah, honestly, this arc isn't. Luffy kind of just take out any pirate in his path, just because he needs to. That's his job. Also, do the same thing, but they kind of just hide over there arrested, but they also have their face when they fight. So yeah. Also, Luffy has Isa like in his kimono. But yeah, so he also meets Tama, who he also treats like a daughter. So yeah. Also, Isa teaching Otoko just how to use observation hockey. It does take a while because she doesn't get it, but yeah. But we kind of had Isa head out here, and we'll what's the guy's name? Right, so yeah, so Senguyama is glad to have Isa here, and she thanks Luffy for bringing Otama real food. So yeah. But now with this, well, they go on, and Luffy even just kind of called in basically just anyone else that he could to basically tell them about what's happening in Wano. And well, they're actually have this happen. So, not happy about Wano, but they're happy that Luffy gave him info. We even contacted CP0 telling him to get out of Wano, this is his mission. CP0 kind of refused, so, and get the names of all CP0 people that we know. But yeah, so basically Luffy kind of told CP0 to pull out of Wano, this is his mission. They kind of said no, but Luffy kind of just told Maha to screw off. and then told them that if he finds them in Wano, he's going to kill each and every one of them that's here. And this is his mission, and he knows that they're not here for help. And with this, well, eventually Zoro contacted the world government. They kind of said, well, Luffy isn't back down, even if we order him to, so just wait in the sidelines the whole time. Wait in the sidelines. But also not telling when this happens, because if they take on a Yonko with how powerful their crew is, with them all being somewhat masters of hockey, even that random little girl is better hockey than most admirals do. So, yeah. So Isa is a qualified member of the Marines. Like, Isa is a legitimate member of the Marines at this point. Like, Isa's rank in the Marines is an ensign. Like, she's a Marine officer. She can order around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She can order around 8 ranks of Marines at 11 years old. Isa's a solid point where even the Gorosei acknowledge her as a Marine. So she's chilling. But yeah. Now we should go on to basically just, we couldn't find the Straw Hat crew. Isa made that easy, but so did he. Looks like the whole crew kind of just united them somewhere. And Momonosuke, Kanjuro, and everyone goes to Kozuki Castle. But I still know that Kanjuro is a trickster and a liar. Which, can anyone Momonosuke believe Isa? And with Momonosuke being an 8-year-old, but also understanding, like, chronologically he's 28 years old, but physically and mentally he is 8 years old. This is going to be creepy, but also not creepy at the same time. Well, as an adult, he'd be creepy, but he's a kid. So, yeah. Or time made him 28 years old. He's forced to be 28 even though he's 8. I should mention that, but yep. Momonosuke kind of has like a crush on Isa, but also on Nami and Robin and Perona and Tashigi, but Zoro and Brook claim 2 of those, so yeah. Momonosuke doesn't know how he feels. But yeah. But Momonosuke trusts her, and then because Momonosuke trusts her, Paramount trusts her a little bit. But this occasion was a bit pressing. Luffy they trust above anyone else. Kind of sits down and asks Kanjuro a question, about this, and it was basically about his allegiance to the Kozuki family. And Luffy says he's lying about that. If he had a chance, he would have killed Odin. And Kanjuro just pulled around trying to slash off Momonosuke's head just to get this over with and just scare everyone off. But suddenly, Luffy kind of kicked him in the back so hard that he got sent flying through a tree and almost into the ocean. But Kinemon caught him saying, "My friend, tell me it isn't true. Tell me." As Kinemon's trying to save his life, just trying to get him to say that Luffy's lying. Kanjuro just yells. It's basically, "No, I am Lord Orochi and I will serve him. I am Kanjuro Kurozumi. You will not disgrace me like this. You'll not save my life, I'll die myself." With this, Kanjuro kind of just pulled out a sword, cutting off his own hand, and falling into the ocean, dying. It's very tragic. He gives him 2 weeks to mourn. But then Luffy and Law engage their spy mission while everyone else changes. Not changes, while they train. I'm dumb. They also use Isa, but Luffy kind of hides Isa. But yeah. They sneak in, basically just Udon prison at night, and using their hockey, they can determine whoever's around. So Isa makes it easy. But they find Kawamatsu's cell, and they kind of point out that he has a very similar aura to basically the scabbards. Luffy kind of just opened his cell, asking him if he's a scabbard, and Kawamatsu says, "What of it?" Says basically, "I'm a Marine. I allied with a pirate crew and scabbards to basically defeat Kaido." And then Kawamatsu came out, and Luffy sunk into where Kid's cell was, and Kid basically just saw the Straw Hat, and then saw Law. Law kind of jabbed his sword into the cell lock, and then Luffy just had a Seastone key. Well, Isa had the key. She unlocked Kid's cuffs for him. It's about Killer, and this one he says, as from Zoro's information, Killer is currently working for Orochi, but I can probably guess where he is. Luffy immediately called CP0 once he got back to the base, and not base, but once they're kind of hiding in a cove, so to say. There's this work like Hyogoro, because Kamo says, "Oh, he's an old legend who knows advanced hockey. You can shoot for him too." And I forget anyone in the Hyogoro asked too. But no one knew where all those prisoners were coming from, because Isa warned them in advance for any Marine that woke up or walked around. No one could catch this large mass breakout at night. They leave Udon with 30 prisoners missing. So, yeah, they had at Hyo's old Yakuza base, And with this, well, first, no one knows who did this. Law, Luffy, and all, they're not notified in Wano. They've been kind of laying low undercover. So yeah. But, eventually he contacts CP0 to ask him about, Orochi's whereabouts, and they give it to Luffy. Well, one, he's better trained Rokushiki than them, and even Lucci and Kaku will admit that Luffy's a better Rokushiki user than them, because, well, he's trained by Who's Who. But, yeah. Luffy eventually is actually able to somewhat, find where Killer was, and tell Killer that he broke Kid out of prison, they should go now. Killer immediately walked along, but Luffy ended up kind of throwing Killer a mask. Saying that, he was told that he ate a smile, so him, while Wiper and Frankie, plus Chopper engineered a mask. So, even Caesar helped him pitch in. This should somewhat mute your laughs, but not all of them will be some will be muted, but some of them make it through quietly. So your words will make it through clearly, your laughs will be somewhat filtered out. And he kind of just saw tears fall in the mask, but Killer just, you can tell he's laughing, but hates it, but also just is thanking Luffy profusely for it. But on this, they'll train for the whole time for the beginning of the Onigashima raid. Because Yasu isn't dead, or kidnapped at all, actually. He's kind of just resting here peacefully. Yeah, but when it came to that village when it's about to be destroyed or attacked, well, I already called that out, and Luffy kind of guessed what would happen. So he kind of has Law and, he has Law and Killer staying there. So, Killer and Law staying there, so these three combined are able to push Kaido back a decent amount, and he just leaves, not wanting to waste his energy or time on this, but they don't know where everyone else is. He doesn't know where everyone else is. He thinks it's only these three here, even though there's a whole fleet of these people. But yeah, also, they have Pedro, Carrot, and Yamato. Not Yamato. Carrot and Pedro with them. But also, Luffy has just Bartholomew on speed dials. He has Bartholomew follow him a little bit around, but Bartholomew currently is resting right at Zou. So, yeah, Bartholomew, most of the Grand Fleet are resting at Zou. But yeah, well, not most of the whole Grand Fleet is resting at Zou. Kind of just waiting for a call from Luffy. But, yeah. Well, as protesting to raid on Onigashima, Luffy kind of just called Bartholomew saying, war is ready, let's go. So, yeah. Luffy can just run to Kaido outside Onigashima, telling him that he's the only one here. Kid and Law and Killer were actually arrested by him. He tries to use observation, is he telling the truth or not? He's kind of actually telling the truth, and his bravado proves it. But suddenly, Luffy and Kaido are about to clash, but Luffy just dodged the punch. Kaido punched one of the barriers that, Bartholomew put up as he arrived recently. Luffy just jumped up, going to your third, and slamming down a red rock around Kaido, and shockwave basically echo all throughout Onigashima. Luffy then called everyone forward, as basically, Luffy himself, Grunt, Kobe, Zoro, Helmpo, Nami, Buggy, Usopp, Sanji, Sashigi, Smoker, Chopper, Crocodile, Mr. One, Robin, Wiper, Isa, Frankie, Brook, Perona, Jinbei, Caesar, Barto, Pedro, Carrot, and Yamato all emerge. Luffy knows about Yamato via Ace. So, yeah, Ace is stuck on just getting from info, and him and Yamato make a good friendship, so, yeah. So he's where Yamato is. Because Ace often uses Dendemushi to contact brothers, he can give Yamato Dendemushi and the number for Ace. And Luffy also has Yamato's number through just Ace's things. So he kind of told Yamato and told her who he was. So Yamato's on his side. So yeah, so when all these people emerge, well, they're ready for smoke. Mostly, all the Gabbards are united as well, but they're hiding somewhere. This Kaido has all his people get ready. Then those Gabbards use one combined attack to cut Kaido across the back with a gigantic X shape and take down a decent amount of Mountain Beast pirates. Then Kid and Law both appear using Delphorts in tandem and cut down a majority of Kaido's forces that came outside as well, or just the ones that are visible outside. But eventually, King, Queen, and the Toby Reppo appeared, but Luffy started on Drake, and Drake immediately turned around, stabbing Who's Who right in the chest. That Drake immediately jumped on Luffy's side. Luffy says, alright, good, you know. Drake nodded, and Kobe kind of held up his hand with, not hand back of his hand with a tattoo of a sword on it. Not like a big one, like a small one, like on his thumb or so. So yeah. But now with this, well, Luffy had also had kind of a small suspicion, telling everyone to be quiet. Because he has something to tell Kaido. Luffy suddenly hit him calling CP0, and from inside of Onigashima, they hear a Dendemushi ring. Kaido realized that CP0 was hiding inside Onigashima, just waiting for this to happen. CP0 realized that it was all quiet outside, they realized that they were just outed by Luffy, so, yeah. Zoro come out, destroying Luffy's side, telling him that they don't have to talk about this later. So he has 26 crewmates, plus a whole grand fleet of 4,000 men. So, there's 4,000 men. Then Hidden Law, plus Killer, I guess. Then their crews. Then Samurai from all of Wano's 5,000. It's 9,000 men. Luffy has basically just has a whole army backing his. Like, him and Kaido are very similar in numbers at this point, with how many people Luffy has on his side. Just through speech and everything. Hell, Tenku Yama made Killer new blades infused with hockey. Not both of them. But one of Killer's blades is a black blade. It's just how broken they all are right now. Even someone who's minor as Killer has a black blade. But also Killer's a dope character, so I'm not calling him minor anymore. But yeah, this is honestly just hands on hands. So yeah. So with this, we should go on now to basically just Kaido and everyone else fights, but they're outside Onigashima. So when it came down to basically just the scabbards, Tobiroppo. Basically, when it came down to Sasuke, or let me find almost all Tobiroppo. So there's 5 Tobiroppo right now, because actually Drake had joined Luffy's side. We kind of called him ahead of time with Kobe's help. But, yeah. So who's who? He's already kind of injured right now, but slowly healing because he's a zone. But he would have to fight Kobe. Kobe is a master of Rokushiki, just like Luffy is. So yeah, so Kobe and Susu fight, and it's more a battle of equals at this point. Drake's on Luffy's side, there's no need for anyone to fight Drake. Black Mirror fight Robin, but Robin knows hockey, so it's a bit different. Or, it's not confirmed she knows hockey in the anime or manga, I believe, but this one is confirmed she knows hockey, so she beats Black Mirror off bat. Ultimately, we fight Nami, and Nami knows basic observation, and light armor hockey. She's not too good at it, but she tries and does pretty decent at times. But also, she has Zeus. Big Mom's here too, by the way, if I couldn't tell, because Luffy embarrassed her and her kids. So, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, she has Zeus, and she beat, Nami beat an ulti. Actually, no, right now she doesn't have Zeus, but she still beats ulti. Peggy Join is forced to fight against, I'm gonna say, Buggy and Usopp, and these two combined beat him. And Sasuke would have to fight against Wiper and Frankie. That's not even a fight, it was honestly a one-sided assault, if that's all it was. Like Wiper himself has the Goro no Mi, along with technology that belonged to Vegapunk, and Frankie and him share this technology to the point where it's more advanced than anything you see before. They have a giant Shogun that's piloted by both of them, and they beat Sasuke with it. They beat Sasuke to death in the Shogun. Like, it is piloted by a mastered Goro no Mi user and a genius. And one punch from this is almost enough to blow away Onigashima, but they couldn't harness in one blow and punch it into the air, killing Sasuke. So everyone watched Sasuke be turned to ash right in front of them. So yeah, there's smoke to be handed out. Major smoke. But yeah. Luffy faces down Kaido and Big Mom, as he tells Zoro and Sanji to both just attack King Queen. And Sanji, well, he had one more time to train, plus Wiper, Frankie, and Luffy had a suspicion about him when he hit about the Germa. They come against Sanji's body, and they realize that they kind of just analyze it with Chopper's help, and they realize that he is a literal cyborg. So, not cyborg, he's more like an advanced human, but he doesn't have all the technology siblings has. He has some technology, but none of the commands. Sanji and Queen fight, but the fight starts with Sanji being on one side. Like, honestly, fight starts with Sanji basically abusing Queen. Even when Queen goes all out, Sanji does too and easily beats him. Just seeing his durability kicked in a bit later, but still, he has better hockey than usual. So, yeah, he had that hockey to make up for his lack of durability and can't until awakened. Then Zoro's in better shape than before. Plus Luffy identified that King's the black guy, so Zoro can fight him. Zoro won from the start because Luffy snitched on him, so it works. Caesar just can kill a majority of the forces here, but he's trained to do so. He's not that good. But yeah, Caesar. So basically, one fight that fight Kaido. Basically, Luffy, Crocodile, Mr. One, Kid, Law, Jinbei, and Bartholomew. Those 7 fight against Kaido. But with these 7 are basically just pushing Kaido to the point where it's not even a fight. It is an assault. They don't want Kaido, but they go him too. But he doesn't lose them all. He'll fight Kaido himself. He needs credit for beating Kaido completely. Like, he'll do it by himself. Luffy and Kaido fight, when Luffy being a bit stronger than Kanon, plus actually being, well, in a Kaido fight, and there's more totally a battle of equals in everyone's eyes. That's how it seems to be. Luffy discovered conquers like coding before, he's just using Ryuo as a start. So, him and Kaido fight, and as they fight, it is basically a battle of just... It's more of a battle of who has the better stamina, and basically better stamina and durability. This is what the battle is about, stamina and durability. But about willpower, this is a battle of conquerors too. So yeah. Luffy and Kaido eventually take this fight to the top of Onigashima, with the Scabbards joining in as well. And they help. Eventually Kid and Long can have everyone else just leave, as they'll fight Big Mom. But Bartholomew says he's waiting for the orders to the end, he'll fight with them. So, yeah. So now with this, well, what's something you guys have noticed? He's allying himself with 4,000 pirates. Over 4,000 pirates. But it's just shifting to be Marines because Luffy saved them. But no one knows that they're Marines right now. A Vice Admiral allying himself with 4,000 Marines, not Marines, 4,000 pirates to beat a Yonko. But Luffy eventually had beaten that Yonko, so yeah. Since it's more battle of equals from the beginning, and Luffy not serving conquer like coding late. Having the fight when they seem to be a bit too tied, and Kaido about to lift Onigashima, Luffy immediately just kind of inhaled, and Kaido's asking why he's coming down. Luffy just smirked, saying he found a way to beat Kaido easily. It confused him until Luffy just emerged as basically just a fucking Chad and turned into Gear 5th. And Luffy says this form he's been trying to for a while. He felt it arriving, but didn't know it'd arrive this early. Let's him and Kaido begin fighting, and Luffy's overwhelming Kaido expeditiously, but everyone sees him abusing Kaido. He turned into a giant so big he is bigger than Kaido and bigger than Onigashima. And he summed up Kaido with Hydrogen wondering who the hell's that big. So yeah, he summed up Kaido literally and metaphorically. So yeah, eventually shrank back down, and Gear 5 was activated, but honestly she just used his abilities to take down any standing beast pirate. But it ended Onigashima faster than it needed to be, so Wano's over. Ochi was here too, but Luffy kind of had CP9 kill him. So yeah. He needed no big Monosuke, but eventually he emerged to become Shogun. So yeah. So now with this, well, Luffy can tell TP9 to leave, or also kill them all, and they did, because Luffy showed to awaken his devil fruit, and they reported that back. Well, they tried to report it back, but Luffy kind of interrupted their comms, telling them that they can't tell them shit. So, yeah, they can't tell Goro to say shit or also kill them all. But yeah. But now with this, we should go on to. Well, we're gonna take a small thing happening. When it comes down to basically, what was it? Shit. Oh, yeah, Reverie. On there, Sabo had met with Greenbow and Fujitora, because at this point, Sabo is considered an admiral. Like, he isn't given a rank at all. He's Sengoku's assistant, but is on the level of an admiral. So they'll show him some respect. But well, first Aki Inu is still fleet admiral. He doesn't give Sabo a rank. Sabo preferred to say rankless. But yeah, he's kind of just Sengoku's personal assistant still. No, he's not fleet admiral assistant. He is Sengoku's assistant. But eventually, well, he kind of did save Shirahoshi still, and well, when Luffy tried to stop him from beating up the Celestial Dragon slave, he doesn't care for the Celestial Dragons at all. He cares for the humans. Like, he cares for everyone else. Those dragons just have CP0 at their side, so they don't need Marines. And it tells them that they shouldn't. And some just go on a rant about how Celestials ain't shit, and they don't need Marines. They feel like they do just to feed their ego. But he arrested the hell out of basically every Celestial Dragon and everyone that talk about, like, a lot of the princesses here are allied with Luffy. Like, they're allied with the world government because Luffy saved them. So yeah. Also the warlords are still abolished. But yeah, just that thing happened too. Also, Sabo had fought Dragon. The Dragon was the one to invade Reverie. Dragon beat him half to death, of course, but still, he went easy on him because he's Luffy's brother. But eventually, Dragon had left with Kuma. So yeah. But on Luffy's way out of Wano, CP0 kind of just still called the Marines mid battle and talked about how Luffy's allying himself with pirates. For anyone can explain, well, Vice Admiral Green Bull, not Vice Admiral, Admiral Green Bull is here. But CP0 is not refusing to admit that Luffy was the only one to beat Kaido just because he's threatening them. They refuse to beat him, say he's only beat Kaido. They're overwhelming Kaido's forces with numbers, so they beat him. And Luffy currently is kind of an outlaw for them from the Marines. And his bounty, well, is being published right now. If he beats Green Bull, he's getting a bounty of 4 billion. He's taking Kaido's bounty if he beats Green Bull. So yeah, a few days pass. He has to fight Green Bull. As the Green Bull fight, it's more of a battle of equals again. But eventually Luffy begins to show he's surpassing Green Bull. But in the middle of Green Bull and Luffy's fight, eventually, well, he had a call from Sengoku and Garp. But Luffy kind of stopped fighting, telling him to answer it, and kept dodging all of his attacks. And Green Bull eventually realizes it's not going to be a fight, just answered this call, saying, "What, Sengoku, you're in a good fight." This Sengoku says, "You idiot, that's Luffy's Grand Fleet. They're Marines too." Really, and he says he froze. They were not told about kid-in-law at all. Because those two left immediately as Big Mom and Kaido were defeated. They left immediately. Basically, Luffy tried to do some coincidence, and CP0 believed it. So it was just sheer coincidence. That's all it was, coincidence. But yeah, so everyone believes it. So yeah, kid-in-law coincidence. But then it came down to basically just his fleet being ex-pirates. They're now Marines. Because Luffy allows them to be Marines. But with him choosing to actually kind of hold out against an admiral while still pretty injured from fight with two Yonko, that is. Well, Luffy's given the rank of an admiral. There's 4 admiral now. But what could be a good name for Luffy as an admiral? Luffy's admiral name is Akataka, which basically just means Red Hawk. So yeah, Luffy gets the admiral name Akataka. So, but on this, basically, most of his crew is promoted to vice admiral. Like, they all showed displays of amazing hockey and skill. Basically, Luffy, admiral. Well, Grunt is a vice admiral. Zoro, seriously, vice admiral. Kobe gets promoted to a vice. Kobe's also vice admiral. Helmeppo, rear admiral. Nami, commodore. Buggy, vice admiral. Usopp, vice admiral. Sanji, vice admiral. Sashigi, rear admiral. Smoker, vice admiral still. Chopper, rear admiral. He gets respect here. Crocodile, vice admiral. Mr. One, vice admiral. Robin, vice admiral. Wiper, vice admiral. Isa, lieutenant junior grade. Frankie, vice admiral. Brooke, rear admiral. Perona, commodore. Jinbei, vice admiral. Caesar, captain. Bartholomew, captain. Pedro, commodore. Carrot, lieutenant junior grade. Yamato, vice admiral. So yeah, and everyone else, like all the members of Luffy's Grand Fleet are all given the rank of rear admiral, besides Bartholomew. So yeah, so these are all now just certified Marines that are all just tanked as all hell. But yeah, now this, well, Luffy actually decides to fulfill one of Usopp's dreams, telling Hydrodine to lead them all to Elbaf. Hydrodine just smirked, saying with pleasure, and they all head to Elbaf. So yeah. Sabo also reports that he got beat up by a dragon at Reverie. Luffy just laughs at him, saying he'll find a dragon and fight him himself just to avenge Sabo. Also, Sabo also from Luffy had recently been made a admiral. So now currently 4 admiral, which is something that never happened before in history, but Luffy earned that rank. If they can't do anything to him besides hold him at vice admiral, like what do hold a Yonko level threat or an admiral level person at vice admiral. Literally everyone loves Luffy. He beat a Yonko. Well, he helped beat the second one too. Big Mom and Kaido are now in custody of the Marines. Most of their crews are. Luffy someone helped Katakuri get away. So Luffy likes Katakuri. He helped Katakuri get away. And Katakuri knew Luffy helped him get away. Kept Jinbei called the new Fisherman Pirates, and yeah. Well, they've called Jinbei call Fisherman Pirates and get Katakuri out of there. But Elbaf, the whole fleet rests, and they kind of chill out and hang out. But Kid and Law revealed that they called Luffy, saying that they'll power around Luffy for now until they defeat Blackbeard and Akagami Shanks. Who says, no, that is not a we thing, that is a me thing. They're saying, I'm the one beating Shanks. Yes, that damn battle is mine. My battle. Mine. He'll start out saying, Shanks' hat, mine now. That battle, mine now. So, just mine. So yeah, Kid and Law can just congratulate the new Admiral Akataka on becoming, well, an admiral. And with this, well, Luffy also come to like Loki come to Luffy and fighting Big Mom and beating her, but Loki would not wage war against an admiral, especially one the guy that took out Yonko. Is supposedly stronger than Big Mom or equal to Big Mom. Besides, allows them to be here, but they're not allowed in the Elbaphian village. Most of them just send them out here and just train their abilities until they master their new ones that they unlocked. Luffy also helps Zoro get a grasp on conquerors. So yeah. But yeah. Now with this, well, they all head over to the Pirate Paradise, as Piranha had heard that Moria was there. As they arrive, to see Moria, but Piranha kind of talk. She talks him down from fighting, and he does. But in the heat of it, we're not going to swap through the whole thing and just one fell swoop and cut down most of the forces that Moria had, leaving only Moria. So honestly, just because he's salty about the whole battle on that random island. So yeah. But Luffy also wants Moria dead, but he won't kill him. He just won't for some reason. He just won't. But yeah. But still, Luffy just tells to Moria to tell him where he is. To Moria, Luffy demands Moria to tell him where Blackbeard is, and he'll let him get out of here alive but crippled, or he'll just have Piranha drop him in water. Piranha is more loyal to Luffy than Moria. Moria, just being a coward, just revealed where Blackbeard was, and they headed to where Blackbeard was. So yeah, now they go to the whole random island, which happened to be Lodestar. So then when they were on Lodestar, they fight against Blackbeard's crew. But that's what Luffy's become when just his training of mastery of Gear 5, also mastery of basically just Conqueror's Haki coding, and on the verge of Invisible Haki. And basically, his observation being at the maximum level of observation. Like, he has the best observation Haki of anyone in history, even surpassing Isa now. Then Luffy ends up fighting against Blackbeard, and his observation Haki is basically impenetrable. Also, Luffy just sports a red suit now, like Aki Inu. But his has like a red hawk on the back of it. But he beat Blackbeard. Then he just used Burst of Conquerors to take down anyone else that was around him. That wasn't his ally, but yeah. Blackbeard defeated. They used anything he had to head to the One Piece. He got there, called close to Garp, saying he found the One Piece. But Marines come. The Marines said being led by Sakazuki and Green Bull and Kizaru. But Luffy is not pleased about this, as he says like, no, you're taking this for yourselves. We're going to use this to find the history of the world, or at least I am. But first with this, Sakazuki says, no, I'm the Admiral, I demand you hand me the One Piece. Luffy kind of told Sakazuki to suck it, and then Sakazuki and him fight, and he beats Sakazuki. And then Sanji had beaten Hebi and Kizaru. Fujitora isn't here, actually, he's an ally of Luffy. So, to fight Green Bull, we just wanted to Zoro versus Green Bull, and he beat Green Bull. And then Yamato came in clutch, taking out majority of the forces there with just one fell attack in her full zone form. I didn't know she does his own, but yeah. But yeah, they use One Piece for the history of the world, and then they leave as every admiral's unconscious. They head up, kind of debunk such dragons being gods. The world denounces them as gods, and they destroy the Red Line. This is the end of the One Piece story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys are wondering about the revolutionaries. Their goal is to show once Luffy announced who they really were from knowing the history of the world. So, boom. Such dragons gone. Boom. So revolutionaries, because such dragons are gone, they're gone. Luffy is now a fleet admiral, and boom. Yep, this ends the One Piece story of Luffy being a Marine. First one ever finished. If you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe for more. Adios.